90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, couple Niles Valentine and Matilda Nti's relationship is in trouble, with the American man informing Matilda about delaying their wedding. Matilda is a 23-year-old from Fiancé in Ghana who met Niles from Mobile, Alabama 2 years ago. Niles is an autistic man who flew to meet her in Africa in season 7. Niles spoke about his rough because he was different. Niles had difficulty in school and couldn't get along with people. He was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder and explained it had been difficult for him both physically and mentally. Niles can be very blunt, which has affected his ability to have normal relationships with people. Niles worked as a peer advocate but also did deliveries to earn extra money. Meanwhile, Matilda didn't have a job back home. She had to help her mother sell plantains after her father passed away. Matilda wished to go to malls and clubs. Her tiny town wasn't enough for Matilda's big dreams. She wished to marry Niles as soon as possible so she could move to the US. However, Matilda was unaware of what Niles really wanted. Niles had been dating Matilda for 2 years when they started filming the show. Niles revealed he had met Matilda on social media. She had sent him a DM out of nowhere. Niles did not know how Matilda had found his ID. She had sent him a message saying hi to him and asking Niles how he was doing. Niles suspected Matilda was a catfish or perhaps a scammer, since he admitted he thought she was too good to be true, as he thought she was so very beautiful. Niles confessed the butterflies in his stomach were not just because of Matilda's beauty. Given what he had been through in life, he had never thought love was possible for him. However, Niles realized he truly loved Matilda. They were talking every day whenever they could for 2 years. They didn't even need to talk to have fun and could do that just by sitting and staring at each other. Matilda also accepted him for who he was when Niles told Matilda he suffered from autism spectrum disorder. Matilda made Niles feel that he was also someone worthy of having a partner, a family, getting married and finding happiness. It was all that Niles had ever wanted. Niles was looking forward to bringing Matilda to the US. While he didn't want that to happen right away, Matilda wanted to marry him on his first trip to Ghana. Niles was so enamored by Matilda that he couldn't wait and proposed to her over the phone. He was really happy when Matilda had told him yes. However, things started going quickly from there. To his surprise, Matilda had gone full steam ahead and was planning everything for a wedding during his trip to Ghana. Matilda's excitement started stressing Niles out. He wondered why Matilda was rushing the process of getting married so soon. He asked himself why Matilda didn't want to wait until they were together. However, he assumed it was a culture thing and that Matilda was getting pressure from outside. Niles still wished to get to know Matilda better so they could proceed from there. Niles was afraid to tell Matilda the truth. He believed that Matilda was the love of his life but was afraid she would dump him if he postponed the wedding. Niles didn't want to lose the only woman he had ever loved. Niles also knew he was going to spend at least $3,000 during the trip, between the hotel bookings, the flight, and if the wedding actually happened. There were a lot of other expenses to deal with. Niles worked as a food delivery agent after his regular job so he could save up for his trip. Niles spoke about the bride price he had to pay to Matilda's family to get them to allow him to marry their daughter. Niles had no idea how much he would be paying, apart from the wedding being an expense that he didn't quite think he could afford at that instant. He believed they needed to spend some time together before they could just commit themselves to each other for the rest of their lives. Niles got overwhelmed every time Matilda brought up the situation. He started masking and hiding his true feelings to please Matilda with his answers. Niles planned a surprise for Matilda in Ghana. He booked a salon visit for Matilda so she could get her nails done and told her he wanted to explore the place himself using GPS. Niles visited Mahmoud's Jewelry in Accra, where he purchased an engagement ring for Matilda. He felt the need to propose to her in person. He thought it would be a good idea to tell Matilda they needed to postpone the wedding while he was proposing to her. He didn't know if it was going to mitigate the anger, but he felt it was his best idea. Niles presented Matilda with a $234 ring. He was seeing that a real happily ever after was possible with her. He wished for Matilda to see that he was going to come back and marry her because his love for her was much deeper and much more timeless than whatever deadline they were imposing themselves. He proposed to her at the memorial of the first president of Ghana. Later that night, Niles and Matilda headed to a club named Zen Garden. Niles braved the loud environment by wearing noise cancellation earplugs. He had to focus and tell Matilda the truth. Matilda was very happy because it wasn't usual in Ghana for someone to plan such a romantic proposal. She was looking forward to going to Kumasi to prepare for their wedding. Niles informed Matilda they couldn't necessarily do the wedding on the trip because he wanted to give her the best he possibly could and wanted to know her better, which wasn't possible during the trip. Matilda angrily told Niles that this was a disgracing situation for her and that people were going to laugh at her. Niles wanted Matilda to show people her ring as proof of his commitment. Matilda was hoping to become Niles' bride in 2 weeks. Now, she was left questioning if he even liked her. Matilda, confused, left the premises of the club. She said she was feeling like dying as she ran out. However, according to a post by blogger 90-day Fiancé _Alexa, who discovered Matilda's Facebook account, the 90-day Fiancé, before the 90 days couple could be married, Matilda posted a picture of herself dressed in bridal attire for what looked like a wedding ceremony on September 16, 2023.